This is the internet's official high-intensity interval training versus low-intensity steady-state cardio video.
Hi, Tom. We gotta talk.
Your love is rated X. That means you're extraordinary.
What's up, motivators? Welcome back to Pure Bullfit. It's Kevin, and once again, we find ourselves in the position where we're not making the video that I sat down to make. Originally, I wanted to talk to you guys about EPOC, that HIIT afterburn that so many fitness celebrities and influencers and gurus talk about. They vastly overestimate the amount of calories that you burn after HIIT workouts. And I just wanted to talk about excess post-exercise oxygen consumption. However, I remembered a quote from Tom DeLaur about how you could burn 500, 600, 700 calories in the 48-hour period after you do a HIIT workout. And that's just grossly incorrect. So in trying to find it, I had to go through 3 years of this jackass's videos. And what I encountered was so much misinformation, so much half-truths and outright lies that I got so upset that I decided, no, we're addressing this, not EPOC. We'll get to EPOC at some point. But this episode of Bullshit of the Week, we are featuring the work of Mr. Tom DeLaur. Tom, it looks like I owe you an apology because at the outset, I thought you were a con man. And after reviewing years of your work, I've come to the conclusion you're not. You're just a fucking moron that somebody handed the microphone that is the internet. It's important to acknowledge when you're wrong, and I was wrong. You see, in previous videos, I referred to you as Dr. Tom DeLaur because I thought you were a doctor. Upon finding out that wasn't the case, I immediately started looking for your credentials. And it took some digging. But I found them, and I know exactly what you should do with them. Now, what we're going to do here, guys, is only take a look at a slice of the man's work. It's a pretty good section. It's about 3 years worth, from 2015 all the way to late 2018. And the reason that we're doing that is because I want to show you how consistently wrong this guy is and how consistently he has been passing on erroneous information, which is usually tied to one of his projects or products or something that he's selling you. And that's what bothers me. Why do I get so upset about this? Because there's people out there who have no fucking idea what they're talking about, who have had plenty of years in order to learn something, making claims that just aren't true for the sole purpose of profit. And that is a huge problem in this industry. It gets people hurt. What happens when somebody goes believing some of the shit that you're going to hear him spew, it doesn't work for them, they get discouraged. They give up. They say, I can't lose weight. And then they start making all of the excuses that people use in order not to engage in a healthier lifestyle with the aim of longevity and a higher quality of life. People like Tom DeLaur count on high production value and sounding articulate and intelligent in order to appeal to as broad an audience as possible and pull in as many suckers as they can. But the briefest internet searches show that the majority of the information he passes is not supported by peer-reviewed science, not studied at all, outright lies, or just plain wrong. So before I get any more riled up, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the clips. Most of them are going to be about HIIT because, as I said in the intro, that was the content that I was primarily looking at when I set out to make that video, which turned into this video.
Weight training operates with the same metabolic business in your body that high-intensity interval training does. It's utilizing carbohydrates as a source of fuel.
All right, first things first, all modalities of exercise utilize all 3 energy substrates, just in varying amounts depending on the exercise. The stimulus determines what kind of energy resources your body uses predominantly, but not solely. So that's a misleading statement right there. He's trying to convince you that HIIT's not the way to go because it only uses carbohydrates. But there's more. Put a pin in that because we're going to come back to that statement.
So let me give you an example of what most people think HIIT looks like. Most people will go ahead and they'll do like 1 minute of high intensity exercise and then 1 minute off. Then they'll go back and they'll do 1 minute on and 1 minute off. And this is great to gamify a process. I understand that it makes it easy.
No, I smell bullshit. I don't think anybody actually thinks that. I've worked with a professional strongman coach, Scott Bregel at ECWC. I've studied and been certified through 2 different organizations like National Academy of Sports Medicine, and that doesn't appear anywhere in their curriculum. I've worked at and with trainers at Gold's and 24-Hour Fitness. I've been training people since 2013, and I have never heard anybody describe HIIT as 1 minute on and 1 minute off. Could it be that you just made that up so you'd have something to argue against, drop some knowledge in this video? That's what it seems like to me.
But that's not how the body works. The body doesn't necessarily know what 1 minute is or what 2 minutes are. The body just knows when it's fully fatigued or not. The whole idea with high intensity interval training is you need to 100% be pushing it to the max and then recovering for however long it takes.
No, motherfucker, the body recognizes an entire spectrum of fatigue, an entire spectrum of intensity. Higher intensity is better, and resting until you're fully recovered is a patently stupid idea.
You should be doing your high intensity training all the way pedal to the metal for like 15, 20 seconds. Because quite honestly, that's about how much energy you have stored up in your body.
So your bright idea is to do 15 to 20 seconds of hard work and then rest for 2 minutes or longer because everybody's an individual? The body recognizes the cumulative intensity of a workout. That's not going to get you anywhere. That's not going to do jack shit but get you winded. What the fuck kind of advice is this?
How this applies with fasting. When you are in a fasted state, your body is not utilizing carbohydrates as a source of fuel. When you are fasted, your body is using ketones. It's using fat. It turns fats into ketones. When you are doing high intensity interval training, you're utilizing carbs.
No, it isn't. The body takes 2 to 7 days to enter a ketogenic state, to start producing ketones. Not every time you're fasted. You're fasted several times a day, in between eating periods. When you go to sleep, you don't start producing ketones automatically. I thought you were like the keto king. Isn't that your shtick? I tell you to stay in your own motherfucking lane, but it looks like you don't even know that well enough to speak intelligently on it.
The answer is simple. 10 or 15 minutes of cardio right when you roll out of bed.
We're saved. It's so easy, Bro Magnon Man can do it.
It's going to take up some of the fat tissue that's normally used for storage, and it's going to mobilize it into the bloodstream so that you can utilize it for fuel.
Wrong again, Tom. That is not nearly enough time to utilize what little amount of fatty acids you would break down, introduce into your bloodstream, actually use them. You see, when you don't do enough low-intensity, steady-state cardio to actually utilize the fatty acids that you break down, what you don't use is redeposited as fat on your body. But, I mean, if you've only got 10 or 15 minutes, you could do HIIT, right? Oh, wait. According to you, that only burns carbohydrates. So far, you can't go 2 videos without contradicting yourself. But hold that thought. We're going to come back to it again.
And if you watch my other videos, you know that the brain runs on fats and our body thrives on fats. So if we can mobilize the fat stores into the bloodstream first thing in the morning by priming it with a little bit of activity so it's forced to run on fat, you're going to be running on jet fuel the rest of the day.
Listen here, you unmitigated fuckstick. The brain can work on fatty acids, but it far prefers, and its base state is to use glucose as an energy source. You have to teach it, force it through entering a state of ketosis in order to make it use fatty acids. This is abjectly wrong, and I warn anybody out there, do not watch the rest of his fucking videos on it. If he's telling you that your brain runs on fat, he doesn't have the first fucking clue what he's talking about.
But I'm trying to make this general because it's the internet's only hit versus list video.
For fuck's sake, Tom, you're on the internet, so I assume you have access to the internet. 2017 comes before 2018. I assume you have some knowledge of how linear time works. That means this is just another nugget of bullshit on top of an already huge pile. Outstanding.
James Linker put out a video a full year before yours, and if you'd bothered to watch it, you wouldn't be making an ass of yourself now.
You see, how it works is when you're breathing oxygen, that oxygen comes in and oxygen combines with fat to create energy. But it can only do this at a low speed. Once you start going faster and you're not low intensity anymore, your body can't keep up.
Actually, you Diet Dolph Lundgren looking motherfucker, the body uses all 3 energy substrates in concert with varying amounts depending on the stimulus. It's not a light switch like the one we should install in your mouth.
Quite honestly, it comes back to the old theory of relativity. You're not taking it to the grave with you. When you're dead, you're dead.
That is not the theory of relativity. This has nothing to do with the theory of relativity. Einstein is currently rolling over in his grave, trying to build up enough centrifugal force to slap the stupid out of you. I think he's going to have to get up to about 186,000 miles per second.
Oh my God!
True, you're using the same energy substrates. You're using carbohydrates with HIIT, you're using carbohydrates with weight training. So you're kind of just potato at that rate.
No, there is a huge fucking difference between the mechanisms that signal adaptations to the stresses that we put on our body. Progressive overload is not the same starchy goodness as metabolic conditioning. You really have no fucking idea what you're talking about, do you?
I talk with a lot of people that are into high-intensity interval training, and unfortunately, a lot of them have been misled about how it works.
Yeah, no shit. By you.
Where high-intensity interval training does come into play is it does allow your body to burn more subcutaneous fat.
Okay, so now HIIT burns fat. We are done listening to you on this subject. It's obvious you don't know what you're talking about here, so what else have you got?
So when you roll out of bed in the morning, the first thing that you put in your stomach, first thing that you put in your system, your body is so unbelievably receptive to. Because you've been fasting and your body's just waiting to grasp onto any nutrient that comes its way.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, I'm going to spare you the cringeworthy setup where he talks about power foods and he just talks about making a daily detox out of apple cider vinegar, lemon, cayenne pepper, and honey.
But the other thing that the lemon's going to do, which is amazing, is it helps detox the liver.
You know, I hear that a lot, but according to the American Cancer Society, there are no formal studies on the efficacy of lemon juice or any other component of a liver flush.
And then the apple cider vinegar combined with the lemon is going to help your lymphatic system. And you may wonder what the lymphatic system is. In case you didn't know, the lymphatic system is basically all your lymph nodes, all your lymph glands. You have them in your armpits, you have them in your groin, the back of your knees. They're what produce all the white blood cells that fight infection in your body.
Also, a strange lack of peer-reviewed research on that front. However, it has been demonstrated to help with triglyceride levels and cholesterol. But it is not recommended for frequent use because it can cause damage to your teeth, sore throat, heartburn, upset stomach, vomiting, and diarrhea. But yay, detox.
And then you're going to throw some cayenne pepper in it. And that's kind of a wild card because the cayenne probably wasn't expected, right? Well, the cayenne pepper is going to jack up the metabolism, so you're going to burn a little bit more fat and get that metabolism raving because let's face it, who doesn't want to burn a little bit of fat, right?
Hey, you got one right! Ish. Yes, spicy food does raise your metabolism. It can cause you to burn more calories because your body temperature rises and it has to expend calories in order to cool it. However, there's nothing stating that those calories are predominantly fat. Taking spicy food, cayenne pepper, any other spicy food doesn't make you a fat-burning machine. You burn extra calories. There's no guarantee that they're going to come from fat. So since you've been such a good sport, we're going to go ahead and give you the benefit of the doubt. We're going to mark that in the win column for you. But it took you 5 videos across 2 years to make one defensible point. It is not looking good, fam.
If you're worried about the carbs in the honey, it's easy. It's easy to just phase it out. You get yourself used to the flavor and then start phasing out the honey. Then you've got a 0-calorie drink that you can drink first thing in the morning that detoxifies your liver, boosts your immune system, and helps digestion.
Now, if you've made it this far in the video and you're a DeLaur drone who is upset at me for calling into question the competency and the knowledge base of your guru, I want you to consider something. We have established that he doesn't know what he's talking about. Every statement that he made in his videos can be disproved with the briefest internet search. The success that he has had hasn't come from his training principles because his training principles don't work. The human body doesn't work the way that he asserts it does. Therefore, it's not going to respond the way that he suggests it will based off of his arguments that we've already proved are false. So if he didn't get there using his own training methodologies, well. Tom, if this video ever gets to you, one bit of parting advice. Do not speak so definitively on subjects that you don't well understand. Even if it comes from a place of deep ignorance, as it appears to, you are still propagating misinformation and profiting from it. Don't be that guy. That guy's an asshole. Alright guys, that's the video. Thank you for watching. If you liked it, go ahead and let me know. Hit the like button. If you want to see more of this content, hit subscribe. Maybe that notification bell. And between now and the next video, just watch out for all the bullshit. It's everywhere.